Hey there. So, my next guest, OG in the gaming world, he has seen it all. He has done it all on the streaming side, on the esports side. This is a dude who has some incredible advice to give. And I know you all are going to love this one. Hey there, everybody. Welcome back to the Gamerpreneur podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Bradford Carlton. Today, I have a very special guest with us. I have Way Stark. Hey there, Way. How's it going?
What's going on, everybody?
It's a beautiful,
great.
It's a beautiful sunny day in Las Vegas. How about yourself, Way?
It's pretty sunny here in North Carolina. We're doing our thing.
Fantastic. It's a nice little part of the country over there. Which part of North Carolina are you at?
So I'm like right outside Raleigh, Durham area. So the Triangle is what they call it. But I'm in a place called Carborough, which is kind of where people go for universities and stuff. But it's also full of like a bunch of hippies. So I don't know.
Hey, can't be worse than my original college. My alma mater is CU Boulder. So #1 party school in the country for like 10 years in a row.
Right, there you go.
Time magazine.
I went to Frostburg State University in Maryland, which is up in the mountains. So all we did was party, and then I finished up at Maryland.
That's right. All right. So wait, I like to get the show started getting right into it. So why don't we begin by you just telling us a little bit about yourself, please?
Sure. I'm a father of two. I've been a gamer for only half my life. I started late when I went to college is when I started becoming a gamer. Before that, I was I don't know, really annoying child, I guess. No, but no, I've always been like this scrappy hustler type of person, and gaming just kind of fell into that whole hustle mentality from what I saw in 2004, and now I'm a serial entrepreneur.
I love it. Now you're going to give me a lot to talk about then. But before we get into any of that, I start every interview with a single question. So I'm going to ask you just like I ask everybody else. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being high, how weird are you, eh?
Oh, ooh. Okay. Weird. What a fun question. We'll go with 10.
Why is that?
Because realistically, I don't fit in any of these normal standards of what people are doing nowadays. I'm the kid that grew up fairly homeless and ended up becoming something big, and then deciding that trying to lift everybody else up around me was the way to go. So when it comes to weird, also, like I'm a white male. Let's be real. Like, we're the weirdest out of all of them.
Okay, I don't do
that's
politics.
That's gonna be a fun thing for you. You want to talk about some stuff, man?
Hey, you got a keyblade and a katana back there, so.
I currently live in a house of 3 guys, and we all came together like literally the day COVID put North Carolina on lockdown. We moved into this house, so we just threw all the stuff we could from our storage unit into it, and it's still finding its way around. I believe somewhere near me, I have a Crusader sword in here too. Somewhere we have like nunchucks lying around. It's like such a guy's place to randomly be. Like, I got really, really bored the first week of COVID, and I built an archery range out back. So like,
what was the person who breaks into your place?
Right. Like, it's just random. Like, actually, if you look like right here, that's this is the living room actually. And that sheet is there because we put this whole thing up so you could just slide the sheet across the room and give yourself privacy, because originally we had an extra person living here and they were just sleeping behind me. And so we were like, here you go, man, just close the sheet while everybody's in the living room, and hopefully you can get some sleep.
Yeah, I remember being a bachelor.
Oh man, it's so funny because like we all came together at like this weird time. I had gotten divorced a year earlier and was a single father of 2, basically. And then I was coming back from like figuring my life out. And then my one good friend, who he's on the master bedroom now, he's a producer, but he had just gotten done with like this heavy rehab because he got in a really bad car accident 2 years earlier, and his back and legs had to be like completely fixed. And then we have this one guy who used to be like the head marketing genius for like a bunch of different like card games like Pokemon and stuff. And he had the same type of thing as me, where he like found himself divorced and going through like this crazy life thing, and then found out that he had like this terminal like MS. And so he was like, I just need a place to stay for a while. And we're like, let's all just get a house. Let's just do this and be guys in a house, I guess. And y'all are going to see my kids from time to time. And now we're all just chilling. And like I said, the day we moved in, COVID was like, now y'all on lockdown. So I don't know anybody in this whole area. Like, I'm just like, word, I've been here for a year.
You really get to know the guys.
Right. We've just been hanging out, and like, it's been cool. But like, at the same time, we're like, what is happening?
Yeah. All right. So wait, this is the Gamerpreneur podcast. So I kind of do need your gaming cred before we go much further. You said you started about halfway through your life. When did you first start playing video games?
Okay. So I my first year of college was 2004. And before then, don't get me wrong, like I played Mario every once in a while. Like I'd go to friends' houses and they would have video games, and I would like take part in that. Or like I remember watching my one friend play Diablo growing up on his computer. I would be like the kid behind him, like getting drunk and like watching him play this video game, or like drinking anything I could find in his parents' closet or whatever. But I wasn't a gamer then. And then so my first year of college, this is like the story that I tell people. This is how gaming happened to me. My roommate in college was playing this game, and I'm watching him. And he's like, hey, man, I'm going to go to class. Will you kill tigers for me while I'm gone? And I was like, no, not at all. And he's like, I'll bring you home dinner if you kill tigers. I'm like, I'll kill all the tigers. So I sat down, and I'm realizing people are talking. And I'm like, all these people are just chatting in this game. And I was like, so it's the beta for World of Warcraft. And so I start doing research about this. And it turns out that World of Warcraft had sold like 1 million copies before it even came out of beta. And to me, being this like, like I said, little hustler, I was like, yo, there's money to be made here. So I started looking up other stuff. And in Japan and Korea, people were signing into video chats and watching each other eat dinner so that they didn't feel alone. And I thought, this is a wonderful idea. I wonder if I can get them so they could watch me play video games. And so I went to like our business professor, and he was like, this is a stupid idea. And then I went to I was in mass communications at the time. So I went to like my like guidance office, and I was like, I want to make it so somebody can watch us play this video game. And they were like, nobody wants to watch you play a video game. And I was like, no, I'm telling you, man, I really feel like this is a thing. And I really want y'all to watch me play this video game. And everybody was like, that is so stupid. And I was like, there's YouTube. Have you seen YouTube or steakandcheese.com or eBombs World? Like, I'm trying to explain to them that there's already things kind of like it. And finally I got through to like this one guy, and we figured it out. And originally what it was I had a large chair kind of like this before it was like gaming chairs. And we put this block, and it was a webcam that was just taped onto it, and you could see my screen over my shoulder. And I got my fraternity in on it, and I got like a bunch of kids in on it, and we all played World of Warcraft. And it turned out I was pretty damn good at World of Warcraft. And I was the raid leader for a guild that was server first, and then it turned out that we were like world top 5. And then we were world firsting stuff for a little bit. And then I was just a hunter making YouTube videos, and people thought it was incredible. And then I went and got a bunch of sponsors and did all the stuff. And then Justin TV was like, hey, don't you want to become part of us? And then Own TV was like, hey, don't you want to become part of us? And Own TV offered me a lot of money. And I was like, that's the one. And then now I look back on that, and I'm like, that's the only mistake I ever made in gaming is going with Owned TV over Justin TV, which became Twitch. And because Justin TV was like, we'll give you a permanent partner, and we'll put you on the front page anytime you log in. And I'm like, God, if only I had that right this second. But Own TV was like, we'll pay you a obscene amount of money. And I was like, word, obscene amount of money it is. Let's put me and these guys through college. And so me and 12 guys got through our bachelor's, and I ended up going on for my master's. And then from there, gaming wise, I left World of Warcraft for League of Legends, did some analysis work there, did coaching stuff. Me and my roommate now actually helped set up the first HBCU esports program in 2011 for NCCU. I have helped coach a ton of world champions for different games in every genre. I owned Pride Stark Entertainment at one time. Pride Stark Entertainment had a ton of different teams. I helped put together, so Super Smash Con is the world championship for Smash Brothers every year, and those guys and I are really good friends. I'm there every year helping put together some of the organizational side of stuff. If you ever do the cosplay contest, you'll see me up there just getting everybody hyped for the whole world. I love them. This is a huge shout out to them, by the way. If you've never gone to Super Smash Con, you need to go. It's incredible. It's in Chantilly, Virginia every year. Love you guys. But I am also a shameless salesman, as you will find out. And that is like the really quick version of what happened. But I'm also blessed to be very good at video games, not coming from the gaming background. So like I'm the guy who will go to DreamHack and be like, I want to play in 5 different genres of video games and come in top 10 in all of them. So
I love it. Now that's a backstory right there. I have to know, Horde or Alliance?
Horde.
Cannot find an Alliance person in my life.
Now, wait. So that being said, I'm really known for my Alliance Hunter. So if you look up Waywatcher, that's my Alliance Hunter from back in the day. And that's what everybody will know me as. I'm playing Horde right now. I actually came back for Shadowlands after leaving after Heroic Lich King.
That's pretty much when I really left too. I left law school and they said no more video games. I'm like, okay.
I literally we killed Heroic Arthas, and I got mad because it wasn't hard. And I literally said, you know what, guys, that was the nail in the coffin for me. I'm going to League of Legends. And they were like, oh, and I signed off and literally did not sign back on until when I saw Shadowlands was doing the crunch to 60. Mm-hmm. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna give this a go. I think that Blizzard is making the right steps to make the game kind of interesting again. And I wanna do this. I wanna try it out. I just cleared Castle Nathria last night actually with my guild.
Congrats.
We literally like 2-shot everything in there. If we didn't 1-shot it, it was very sad. But we got halfway through Heroic, and Heroic seems a little bit different. But now I'm told Mythics are the way to go.
Yeah, Mythics.
I already did a bunch of my Mythic +10s though, and I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm kind of like hoping for something crazy here, but
man, I'm sitting here going, wife, can I please just grind Torghast real quick?
Yo, Torghast is something else though. Really, I have to say, like, so I'm a hunter though, so like Torghast is hilarious because it's not hard.
I'm a prot warrior. Nothing touches me.
Right. I'm like, oh, by the way, I get to do 7,000 times damage. Okay, I'll just 3-shot this guy as a marksman hunter. And it was funny because coming back to the game, I guess that marksman hunter like hasn't been a thing for like 2 expansions. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that though. So when I'm talking to this guy, Elmsley, our GM, he was just like, but if you're gonna be a hunter, you're gonna have to be a marksman hunter. I'm like, word, that's all it's ever been. So I don't know what to tell you, buddy. Like,
game shot day and night.
Right. I was like, it's always been that for me. I've never been a beast mastery hunter except for Sartharian for like 2 patches during Sartharian. There was that like 1-button rotation for Beastmaster hunters that you could set up.
The macro.
The macro. I did the macro, and I was like, yeah, top DPS with 1. I'm hitting the number 2 button. I don't know what to tell you guys. You know, like.
All right. Wait, I love it. We could probably talk about WoW all day.
I could talk about WoW forever. Yeah, it's bad. And it's a game that I don't even generally like anymore. So it's really sad.
Shadowlands came out and I rushed blacksmithing and enchanting just to crush the market for the rune carving gear. Just crushed it. I basically hit gold cap within a week.
It was funny. I came back to the game and realized that I had like these 4 characters that just had millions of gold on them. And then I was like, oh, well, I got to transfer this to this other server. So I transferred with the cap that it allowed me to transfer with. So now I've got 3 other characters on another server that are like level 40 or something because they were like previously level 100 or some crap. But they have like some obscene amount of gold just chilling for no reason on this other. So I'm thinking about logging in and just handing it out to people. Just to see
you could pay for your WoW tokens. Just don't pay for the game anymore.
Man, I haven't paid for the game in a billion years. I don't know. But anyway,
all right. Wait, we could talk about games all day.
Yeah, sorry.
I want to talk about the preneur side of the gamerpreneur. Okay. Because you were introduced to me as like this uber mega awesome person in the entrepreneuring world. So I want to know, what is it you do?
Okay, so right now I am the CMO of Hope Esports. We are a brand new org, and I say brand new because we actually have our grand launch on the 1st of the year. But we are an org that is like any other team org, but we're dedicated to health and wellness. As you see, I'm a big dude. I wasn't for the majority of my life. I told you I went through some stuff where personally I got depressed and I had to retool my life, but I put 280 pounds on while I was depressed. I'm down 80, but I'm still up 200, so I'm a big dude. But I'm in the middle of fixing that. Our CEO, her name is Makomi. She is a health and wellness person as well. And we're working with a bunch of things to make this like very positive impact in the gaming world. And the idea is that, when you talk about health and wellness, a lot of people only focus on the physical side of it, but you want body, mind, and spirit. If you can get those 3 things to align, even in the bad times, you can find yourself at peace. And so we're looking at using everything that Pride Stark was, which is my original team and my original org that I think did some really great things in this space, and using a lot of that framework to bring into this, but then really, like I said, focus on health and wellness. We have a stream team. We have a Call of Duty team. Our Call of Duty team is awesome. I'm so proud of them. They have been coming in top like 10 in every one of the Call of Duty like seeding tournaments. They're the University of Ottawa, one of the University of Ottawa's official teams as well. So like we're helping support them. They're awesome kids. Herbie is an incredible captain. We have a stream team that's just made up of like all these different crazy people from all different walks of life. One of them was a pro snowboarder. One of them is Little American Punk. She's this like young girl that she played Magic the Gathering, but she traveled from like 14 on to do that. So like it's just this girl that grew up playing Magic the Gathering, and now she's like online, like playing Valorant and MTG Arena and stuff. And she's like just a great personality. And that's the thing. We want these like really wonderful people, but then also on staff, like I said, we have health and wellness experts that come from all different like shades of that universe that can point you in the right direction when you want something. One of them is like literally personally helping me get my life back together physically, but they're also, pointing other people like, oh man, I'm having, this depressed moment. And then they'll go and help them figure out how would you find a person to talk to about that where you live. And it's just a great space to be in.
Okay, that is so wonderful. That's a fantastic mission you guys have. What got you to Hope Esports in the first place? I mean, you didn't just like pop up one day and you were in it, right?
No. So the CEO, Makomi, used to be when I was running Pride Stark, she was the captain of my Overwatch team. And so I was previously at it was called American Esports. We were helping set up university stuff, and then COVID hit. And when COVID hit, since we were in the university and live event space, that went away. And so I was at home chilling with my kids, and I was kind of scouting around for talent, but also kind of like, I can take a break now because COVID is here and I've got money to pay my bills, so I'm just gonna chill. I don't have to travel. And then so she brought on a CFO, and he was listening to her talk about everything that she has done. And he was like, this name keeps coming up. Who is he? So I got introduced to him, and then both of them were like, "Don't you want to come work here?" And I was like, "No, not really." And then they were like, "No, no, no, don't you want to come work here?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do." Okay. So now I'm there, and it's a wonderful. Like I really love the mission statement. I really only do things that I feel are going to bring value to the world around me. So that's where we're at.
Okay, so you're CMO, which is Chief Marketing Officer, right? Unless you have some weird.
Realistically, all the titles don't matter. I'm one of the 3 executives that are getting everything done. So.
Okay. Let me rephrase what I was about to ask then. So part of the mission of my show is to be able to show guests and to have my audience see my guests and go, "Hey, what that person does sounds awesome. How do I do that too?"
Oh, that's awesome.
So how do people follow in your footsteps here? Like what is it you do, and how can they prepare themselves to try to get into that kind of position with a business?
So I always joke with everybody that I've never used my degrees, but realistically I'm constantly using my degree. I was very big on schooling growing up, because I didn't have like a background in knowing how to get out of my own life. Otherwise, I came from a pretty rough area of Maryland. I grew up in Baltimore, and I just knew that like the only way to get through my life was to have something to show for it. So I really, really always told people, like, actually, if you were in my guilds when I was running them you had to show me your report card. if you were my age or younger, you had to have a report card, and you had to show me that you had at least a 3.0, which was crazy because everybody really hated me. But they all had 3.0s, so I don't know. But anyway, so my big thing with esports is that there's always a direction to get in. I'm a marketing person. So while I did play professionally some games, I don't play them at all right now. And my biggest love in the gaming space is the fighting game community. And let me tell you about how I'm not playing against none of those people professionally. My Lord, y'all are too good at these games, period. But I will show up to every single event, and I will make sure that you're selling what you need to sell, and I will make sure we all get paid off of it. Because in essence, you have to think that like each player is building their own brand, and each brand is a NASCAR. And you want to put things on that NASCAR that other people see and say, well, I want to buy that because blah blah is using it, or I want to buy it because blah, blah, blah. Like that's what I do. I sell stuff to people through other people.
I love it. And in fact, I actually have a question on this because, I talk to a lot of people in the esports space. And from what I could tell, nobody has a clue how to market. And I see that kind of on the streaming side too. Like almost no one really knows what they're doing. They're just kind of trying to wing it. What are you doing right?
So I feel like a lot of people think that if you are going to come into the esports space and drop a ton of money, it's going to get like, you can just like strong arm your way in with money. And it's not that. Like, you got to remember that the audience that you're reaching are the people that literally designed ad blocker. Like they created it. They were like, by the way, I don't ever want to see this guy talk about his cars again on YouTube. So we're going to create ad blocker, and we're all going to share it for free, because that's what happened. They were like, yo, this game has ads in it. It's not a game that we're going to play anymore. Like, so you got to think like, man, how do you reach that audience? Because that's the audience that we're now reaching. And you got to think, well, are you going to go and waste? That's a mean word. I'm so sorry. Are you going to go and spend an obscene amount of money to work with these guys who have millions and millions of viewers? Or are you going to go and spend some money to work with a tournament platform? Or are you going to, like, you have to figure out for your item or your organization or your brand, what flavor of gamer or what flavor is going to want to buy into that. And if you don't know, that's why you hire me, because I'm the guy who goes through and figures that out for you.
Okay. And wait, what makes you special? What makes you different from anybody else?
I've been here the longest. No, that's so funny. No, there's a lot of people like me. I think that there's a lot of people doing it really well. I think that's one of the reasons FaZe Clan grew the way it did. And I like to talk about FaZe Clan a lot because I like to talk about FaZe Clan and 100 Thieves because in essence they're kind of the same thing, but FaZe Clan has been around tenured, and 100 Thieves is brand new, and 100 Thieves is now making really great strides to be that like public facing, like really cool organization that doesn't necessarily have to be esports, but all the gamers are like, that's where it's at. And then FaZe Clan is like the tap out of esports, where like, even if you're not in esports, you might end up wearing a FaZe Clan shirt somehow. Because like, I'm not a boxer, you know, my kid's not a boxer, but my 8-year-old son got tap out on his shirt. And that's kind of
everybody I've seen from FaZe Clan is pretty ripped. It's kind of funny.
I mean, yeah, that's true too. But I mean, anyway, but so like FaZe Clan just became tap out, and that's not a bad thing. Actually, that's wonderful because esports needs that. You need to have the generic. That's another mean word. I don't even mean for it to be mean. You need to have the everyday brand, and then you have to have the people that are like, yo, I really want this TSM NRG shirt, or I really want this NRG shirt. I really want, you know, the whatever. But then 100 Thieves came in and they were like, wow, what FaZe Clan and Optic Gaming did was incredible. I want to follow in their footsteps, but not make their same mistakes, because God knows if you were a clan or an org before 2013, you made so many mistakes along the way that it's sad. I mean, Pride Stark made a ton of mistakes, and that's why they're not around anymore. But and that's me talking about me. But we also were famously awesome. So it's just a matter of, you know, you asked me what's special about me. Honestly, I'm the guy willing to make all those mistakes and figure it out.
Could you please expound upon what kind of mistakes did you make? What did you learn? Like, you know, if there's somebody out there, I've interviewed tons of team owners so far. Like,
okay,
and they're all at various levels of their success. Like, what is the key to success? What did you learn not to do, and what did you learn to do?
Well, I learned that you need to really understand that even though, wow, this is about to be really crazy, because saying this out loud is kind of crazy. Even if they are the best team in the world, they might not be the best team for you. Like, I mean, we bent over backwards at one point to get, like, you know, these players were popping off. They were doing amazing. They were incredible. But at the end of the day, they might not have had any sort of social media. And you got to think that when you're a team org, like, you got to really look at what your brand is doing properly, or what the focus is. And a really, really good team to look at that really exemplifies this is Tempo Storm. Tempo Storm focuses on what kind of Twitch streamer you are, not what kind of streamer you are, what kind of Twitch streamer you are. Everything they do has to do with what numbers are you getting on your Twitch stream. Are you the greatest player at your game? Maybe, but are you a great streamer with a personality that really just, yep, every single person on Tempo Storm, I guarantee you, when they stream, they are personable, they are awesome people to watch, and they are on Twitch. They are not on anything else. At least that's how it was 2 years ago. I don't know what they've been doing since then. I haven't looked at them. I'm talking about when I was following them. And that's how they ran their team, because a lot of their money and a lot of their sponsorships and a lot of their growth came from that side of things. FaZe Clan, though, is really focused on Twitter and their social media stuff. They might have some awesome players, but they tell them, like, you go through, like, if you are on FaZe Clan, I guarantee you, I don't know this for sure, but I'm pretty certain they got people on the back end teaching you how to use your social media efficiently, and they've got like algorithms worked out, and they've got like special stuff of how you post, how you do this. When you were part of Pride Stark, we really focused on your engagement numbers. So what it was is even if we focused on I used to call them events at events, because we were really big in the live event space. I went to 2 live events a month while I was running Pride Stark. So I might be in Miami, Florida, the first weekend of the month, and then be in like Syracuse, New York, a week and a half later. And it was just me driving up and down the coast or flying in and out of different places or God knows. And every event we went to, we had a side event that Pride Stark hosted, and we would pick all those numbers up, and that was our big thing. So I had players that had to be able to be publicly like engaging. All of our players had personalities that you wanted to talk to. They were the guys that you wanted to like have a beer with. They were the girls that cosplayed. They were the girls that like, you know, would do panels with me. Like that was our big thing. So you have to figure out what your organization's thing is and really focus on that. You don't have to pick up the greatest team in the world and pay them some absorbent amount because there's always a chance they could lose. And at the end of the day, if you have the best team in the world, let's say they won the world championship for whatever, but if they have nobody following them, which, you know, it's really hard to say out loud, but like, then who cares? I'm sorry, who cares? You won the world championship and nobody ever heard from you again. What does that do for us? So you have to really know how to like, but that's just something that early on when you're a team owner, you don't find out until later. And you don't find out till you pick up a team and you make the mistake. And I did. Everybody did. We all did. We all made mistakes trying to figure out. And then also, for every new team owner and every new org person that you want, really, really look at who's running your org with you. You're not doing it alone, one. Two, you really, really need to have somebody who knows the legal side of things, because like contracts and being an LLC over S Corp or being an S Corp over an LLC, all that stuff matters, especially if you actually grow and do something special. Like, it's going to suck if you find out that nothing you did mattered at all because you didn't have anybody contracted and now they're gone, or, you know, like all this stuff. And those are all mistakes that would have been made. Trust me. Like it all sucks.
This is some fantastic advice, Wei. Thank you so much for all of that. You know, if you could go back in time,
get beat up now.
If you could go back in time and go do it all over again, you know, would you make any changes?
I'm a very big person on having like no regrets in my life about stuff. In fact, the second time I've come back now to esports twice. My first time I was done with esports and I actually opened a restaurant in Maryland, and I was very happy there. And then I met who was my wife and moved to North Carolina, and she was like, man, I really want to be in the event space and go back to modeling. And I was like, all right, let's do that. And I started my second iteration of what Pride Stark was, built around, like I said, live events. That's why we did it that way. And it was amazing. It was so much fun. Like each time has been like this great roller coaster of like, what's happening? Because that's entrepreneurship, right? Like the whole time you're like, I hope I don't fall out of this friggin' roller coaster at some point, but at some point I'm going to make a dive, I guess. I don't know, man. Or it's going to take off and I'm going to retire and I'm going to be making like wind chimes on an island somewhere and you're never going to hear from me again. I'm just telling you, that's like what's going to happen. People are like, what happened to Wei Stark? And they're going to be like, I think he bought an island and just makes wind chimes now. And we have a guy in our so Amar or Knight, I hope you watch this and just hear me talk about these wind chimes, because I know how interested you are in me making these wind chimes. But I'm going to teach you, man. I'm going to teach you. Okay. Anyway, this is me now making fun of people. But no. Realistically, like I really feel like if the only thing that I would have ever gone back to is the second time Pride Stark ended, some people got hurt from it. And it's because my COO and I really fell apart at the same exact time. And I gathered up everybody and told them, you know, up front, like, Pride Stark's going to be shutting down. And then we had this guy come to us and say, like, hey, you know, I think that I might have an investor that'll keep it going. Let me run it while you guys figure your life out. And I trusted him. And I shouldn't have. And because of that, some younger people got hurt from it because they didn't get paid the last 2 months they were there, and they should have, but they didn't, because my life fell apart. So did my COOs, and this guy that we trusted, he just took us through a loop and took all the money he could out of us and left.
I'm sorry to hear that.
If I was to go back and fix anything, it'd be fix that, because I really do regret the way that fell apart. I really think that those guys deserved better, and it was my fault, because at the end of the day, I was the CEO, I was the person running it. But like, I made a bad decision to believe in somebody that I shouldn't have, and they believed in me, and I let them down. And from the bottom of my heart, that's the only thing that I would ever go back and fix, because they deserved better.
Certainly. Well, I'm sure they appreciate hearing that from you.
Probably not. But
well, let's change topics. So you've basically been in esports since the very beginning, before it was even esports.
Yeah. I've been pro. I always joke I'm a pro gamer, and I'm not playing esports. I'm a pro gamer.
There you go.
I hate the word esports.
Here's one of those questions. Like a typical interview question. Where do you see esports in 5 years?
Ooh, in the Olympics.
Well, isn't it supposed to be in the Olympics? It was supposed to be this year. So I mean,
great. So then I'm right. No. I think in 5 years, I think that it's just going to be a bigger thing, but I think that it might get a little bit normalized. I think that in the next 5 years, it'll finally, everybody thinks there's like this bubble and it's going to but I really feel like in 5 years, we'll have a little bit more normalization of how things work. And we might have some more guidelines for it, because one of the sad things is that, and I hate saying this out loud, if esports is a little bit more corporate, it would be easier for people to find a pathway into. And I think that as the university system is developed, you're going to find that in the next 5 years, there's going to be more professionalism there. And once we get more professionalism on this side of it, we already have the numbers, we already have the eyes, we already have the media, and we already have the hype. Professionalism is the next ingredient that makes this what it needs to be.
Okay, love it. Let's talk about you a little more personally, if we can. Although we've been in and out. What's something that you're working to improve on in yourself today?
Currently I'm playing Valorant, and let me tell you about how I need to keep my mouse at the right no, I'm just playing. I'm not playing. I am playing Valorant, and I really need to learn how to click heads better. But no, personally, I'm really working on balancing my work day, because of being at home, and because of always being in my head, I'm always on the get. I'm always going. It's very rare not to be able to find me somewhere online doing some kind of version of work, and it's not healthy. and being able to talk to me at 3 a.m. and then 3 p.m. and then me go, man, I think I've been awake for 5 a.m.s. I feel like that's bad. I need to go take a nap. I shouldn't be taking naps. I should probably going to sleep. And so
you just described my 2 weeks ago when Shadowlands came out.
Right. I hit 60 on my hunter in I think 6 hours and 30 minutes.
Did you not read the quest? I hear people do that. I read every quest. I streamed the whole thing live. It took me 15 hours to get to 60.
I had an add-on that that didn't even show me the quest. So whenever I clicked on the person,
I literally read all of them out loud to my audience.
Oh no, I didn't even stream. I streamed 12 seconds of it, and I was like, you know what, guys, you're not gonna keep up with this. I'm sorry. And I just turned it off and was like, but no, I think that personally wise, I'm really working on my physical health. I want to lose. I really want to lose another 150 pounds. I know it's going to take me another year or two, but I'm really dedicated to that. But I'm dedicated to doing it in a way that's healthy. I don't want to just lose weight and then not be healthy with it. I want to do this properly, and I want to be able to tell people along the way, this is what's happening, because I'm also a cook. I like to cook for people. I like being able to have people around, and it's not that I'm unhappy with the way I look. I mean, yeah, I'm a little bit bigger than I'd like to be, but at the end of the day, it is really about health. And I have 2 children. I want to be around for them. one of them's 10 and the other one's 4, you know, like I got a whole bunch more years. And I never thought I'd make it to 30. So God knows here I am mid 30s and I'm like, okay, next. Like, I don't know, man. Like, here we are. So that's personally where I'm at.
No, for sure. Yeah, one of my very first guests I had on the show, his name is Coop. He made a workout based around Warcraft and all the different moves in Warcraft. So there, you may want to check that one out.
Coop, is that the guy from the Johnstown Steel?
I don't know. I don't think so. I can get you in touch with him if need be.
No, that's all good.
It's okay. One more question before we bring this in for a landing. It's kind of a fun one. What is something that you think people misunderstand about you the first time they meet you, Wei?
I don't know, man. I'm pretty fun loving and out there. So no, the first time you meet me, you don't think that I have the business background I do. I always surprise people when I tell them that, you know, I have 8 years of schooling under me and 3 degrees. Like, it does, like, I have, you know, silver hair or like a giant red mohawk, and like if you ever catch me wearing a suit, you're gonna laugh because that's happened like twice. I think one time I got married in it, but like it just doesn't happen. But at the end of the day, I can sit down and talk to you in a very real level and on a very high level what marketing strategies we should be using, and you know what kind of numbers we should be seeing over the course of this, or I could help run, you know, your $1 billion company the correct way, or put together like this and that. Like, I've also had, you know, successful restaurants that have done this and blah, blah, blah. Like, you don't see that. You don't see the professionalism behind me because I'm a very outgoing, fun guy, but
beautiful. That's all good. All right. Wei, this has been a fantastic interview. This was one of the more fun ones, honestly.
Good. I try to match the energy, man.
How do people reach out to you? How do they find you? Where are you at on social media, email, all
social media? If you can find me at untilragnarok, GG, anywhere, or Until Ragnarok, you'll find me all over the place. If you look up Hope Esports, most likely I'm the guy who's going to answer you back on that social media stuff. And then we have Discord. We have a Discord group that we do karaoke most nights. Like, you could find me on Discord all over the place. And like I said, reach out to Until Ragnarok. You'll find me. Join our Discord group. I would love to have more people in there. We have community nights pretty much every night because gosh knows everybody's in this community. But I mean, realistically, you know, show up on Tuesday night and do karaoke with us. We need more people that want to sing. Let's go.
All right. Now, as we wrap up, do you have any final thoughts you want to share, or anything I didn't ask you think we still need to cover?
Just keep going, guys. You're all going to get there.
That's it. That's the truth. Persistence. All right. Wei Stark, thank you so much. We genuinely appreciate you coming on today.
Thank you, man. This was so much fun.
Absolutely. And for everybody else, I'm going to remind you all, don't be just a gamer, be a gamerpreneur.